What's your darkest family moment that no one talks about anymore? When I was 10, my parents packed me and my older brother Kevin into our beat-up Honda and drove us to this family cabin way out in the middle of nowhere. No cell service, no Wi-Fi, just trees and bugs, and my mom acting like this was some amazing adventure. Kevin was 15 and spent the whole car ride staring out the window with his headphones on. The cabin belonged to my dad's family. It smelled like old wood and mothballs. There was this creaky porch swing where I'd sit and watch Kevin skip stones at the lake. He was always good at that stuff, better than me at everything, really. We'd been there maybe 3 days when cousin Jordan showed up. Nobody invited him. He just pulled up in this loud truck with beer cans rattling in the back. My dad's face went weird when he saw him, but he didn't say anything. My mom started cleaning the kitchen counter over and over. Jordan was like 22 or something. Tall guy with tattoos and this laugh that sounded mean even when he was being nice. Kevin went completely silent when Jordan walked in, like he wouldn't even look at him. "Little Kevin's all grown up," Jordan said, ruffling my brother's hair. Kevin flinched like he'd been slapped. That night we had a campfire. Jordan brought his beer and kept offering it to Kevin. My parents said no, but Jordan kept pushing. "Come on, the kid's practically a man. One beer won't kill him." I was roasting marshmallows and trying to listen to the adults talk. Jordan kept making these comments about Kevin, how he was too skinny, how he needed to toughen up, how their grandfather would be disappointed seeing Kevin reading books all the time instead of working with his hands. Kevin just sat there taking it. His hands were shaking when he held his stick over the fire. "Remember when we used to wrestle, Kevin?" Jordan said, grinning. "You always gave up so easy. Still do that?" That's when Kevin stood up fast and said he was going to bed. Jordan laughed and called him soft. Said some other stuff I didn't understand then, but makes my stomach hurt thinking about now. I woke up around midnight to yelling outside. Not normal yelling, screaming. I ran to the window and saw flashlight beams moving around in the trees behind the cabin. When I got outside, my dad was pulling Kevin off Jordan. There was blood on Kevin's knuckles, and Jordan was on the ground curled up like a baby, holding his face and making these awful choking sounds. "You sick freak," Kevin was screaming. "You sick freak, I should kill you." My dad had to physically drag Kevin away. Jordan was crying and blood was pouring from his nose. He kept saying, "It wasn't like that," over and over. My mom appeared next to me in her bathrobe and pushed me back toward the cabin. "Go inside, Mia, now." But what happened? Why is Kevin inside now? I watched from the kitchen window. My dad was kneeling next to Jordan, but not helping him, just talking real low and serious. Jordan kept shaking his head and crying. Then my dad stood up and pointed toward Jordan's truck. Jordan stumbled to his feet and left, just like that. Didn't even pack anything. His truck peeled out of the gravel driveway and we never saw him again. The next morning, my mom was throwing away all the marshmallows and graham crackers, like the s'mores were the problem. Kevin had bruises on his knuckles and wouldn't come out of his room. "We're going home today," my dad announced at breakfast. "But we just got here," I said. "Something came up at work." Kevin finally came downstairs with his bags already packed. His eyes were red and he looked like he hadn't slept. When I asked him what happened with Jordan, he just said Jordan was drunk and being stupid. We never talked about that night again, ever. When family gatherings came up and someone mentioned Jordan, the conversation would just stop. My parents would change the subject real fast. It wasn't until I was in college that Kevin finally told me the truth. Jordan had been doing things to him since Kevin was like 7 years old. Every family reunion, every holiday when Jordan was around. Kevin never told anyone because Jordan said no one would believe him and it would destroy the family. That night at the cabin, Jordan had cornered Kevin by the lake and tried to start up again. Said Kevin owed him for old times. That's when Kevin snapped and beat the hell out of him. My parents knew. They'd always known something was wrong but never asked the right questions. That night, they finally saw it all come out. Jordan moved to another state after that.